Hey, what's up guys, Shendamon or Shendaman here. I'm here with a quick guide video on how you can be cost efficient as a Shadowhunter at certain item levels in tier 3. Anyways, let's get into it. Now the first thing I want to mention is that if you're new, Shadowhunter is an excellent class if you're looking to be cost efficient. This is only if you go with the Demonic Impulse build. The reason it is very cheap is because you rely heavily on your transform state, which doesn't require many tripods or gems compared to other DPS classes. I'll briefly go over these later. First things first, whether you main the class or you have it as an alt, you will need wealth runes. These runes help build your shadow burst meter faster and are basically a must-have on Shadowhunter. You can check how to achieve these through the in-game codex with the shortcut Alt D. This class uses specialization as the main stat, so stack as much as you can on accessories with crit as a secondary on the necklace. For tripods, you'll want to focus on encroaching power tripods as they increase the amount of shadow burst meter you gain. Be sure to track these using the setting in the skill menu as you'll need these to make the class perform better and, well, basically playable. Also be sure to save them in your library when you achieve them so you can take them with you when you gear transfer. For gems, you only need 2, demon skill damage and demon skill cooldown. That's all there is to it, pretty straightforward. Now I'm going to briefly talk about viable engravings. Impulse level 3 is the first thing you should always go for. Next up you have choices between Grudge, Cursed All, Adrenaline, Hitmaster, and Raid Captain. Be sure to use Grudge and Cursed All only at level 3 as level 1 is pretty sag. I'm going to talk about parking spots in tier 3 in terms of item levels and what you can do at those item levels to be somewhat efficient with your gold and fions. Now, I'm not saying to follow exactly what I'm doing, but by all means you can just gear your character however you want, but I'm just showing you what I've done and how I've saved gold and fions like this. First, let's talk about the 1340 range. This also applies before 1340 since the only content here is Aurea normal mode and Armored Necrosino or Grexian, depending on your item level. It really isn't content that you need to be over geared for as long as you have some of your build working. You should aim towards Impulse level 3. This is very achievable with just slotting in 2 of the same Demonic Impulse +9 engravings for an insta level 3. Now that you already have your class engraving set up, you can just focus your accessories on stats only, like spec. It's also possible to achieve a level 1 engraving with just a stone alone. This engraving can be something like Adrenaline, Hitmaster, or Raid Captain. Basically anything that doesn't have a drawback at level 1. All the way through 1370, I stuck with Impulse level 3 and Adrenaline 1 and it's worked perfectly fine with me. You can spend a few fions here to maybe get a second engraving level 3 if you need to, but just remember that you won't be sticking to purple grade accessories forever. Now when you hit 1370, the content you unlocked here is hard mode Aurea Abyss dungeons and Argos phase 1. If you park an alt here, it's very easy to get them set up. Both Hard Aurea and Argos drop guaranteed class engravings on accessories. With accessories alone, you can easily achieve Demonic Impulse level 3. With this, you can easily achieve 3 level 3 engravings. For other engravings other than Demonic Impulse level 3, you can slot 2 different +9s in and get a 6/6 stone to get 2 level 3s like this. Or simply get accessories with whatever you need on them. Personally, a 3-3 setup is perfectly fine to stay with for now, but you can go for more if you want to. A 3-3 setup is also good for Argos phase 3 when you decide to push there. Also, upon completing Argos, you should aim to craft a preordained set. You can stick with 2 set for a while and dismantle the remainder blood to get leap stones, or craft a 5 set if you wish to do so. If you plan on crafting at least 2 pieces, be sure to craft the gloves and the shoulders first. I'll explain this shortly. Now, at the current time of this video, the content isn't out yet, but 1415 is also a parking spot that people like to stay at. At this item level, you can do Argos phase 3 and Vaulted normal. You can also equip relic grade accessories at this time. If you're watching this video when the content is just out, the relic grade accessories are probably gonna be very expensive. And this is because relic grade accessory is basically like an endgame accessory that you stick with for a very long time. Also, Vaulton will not be dropping guaranteed class engravings, so it makes them much more expensive. With relic accessories, a 3x4 setup is very achievable due to the amount of engraving points on each piece of accessory, and this is a pretty good goal to go for. Also with Vaulton, you can craft the beast set, or whatever it's going to be called in the NAEU version. You can only craft 4 pieces of it, as the other 2 two pieces, which happen to be the gloves and shoulders, are acquired using mats for Vicus, which is at item level 1430 when you do decide to push there eventually. At this point, you can stick with 4-piece beast and 2-piece preordained gloves and shoulders. And this is why I said before to craft the gloves and shoulders, because you can't craft the gloves and shoulders from Vaulton alone. Now, 1445 and beyond, depending on when you watch this video, it will be a bit different. If you're watching this video when only Vaulton is out, then you can go with a 2-piece relic set and a 4-piece beast set. The relic piece can be hallucination or salvation. I'm not sure what sets we'll have at the time of Vaulton release, so if something changes, I'll just make a pinned comment in the comment section. If you're watching this video with Legion raids like Vaulton and Vicus released, then you can go with 6 relic sets at this point. And like mentioned before, it can be hallucination or salvation. Depends on your build. I'll probably make a video covering this at some point. But anyways, I hope this video has helped you in staying somewhat cost efficient, and hopefully you become a little smarter with what to do with your gold and fions later on. And hopefully I've given you a good idea on what you should aim for at certain item levels. Anyways, peace!